Yes, get it on the chat. Holy Monday. This is Holy Monday. Last night we was on, and it was Palm Sunday. It started it all for this week, for this Holy Monday. It started Palm Sunday when he came in, riding on that donkey. But then once he came in, they threw out the palms, the cloaks and everything, and he came riding in the next day to start this journey that he was on for a week. It had to be something else though, this journey. See, me, I probably would have lost it mentally on this journey. Like, wow, because I knew, see, he already knew what was going to happen. So it's like, whoo, that's a lot of pressure on you. So Holy Monday is the last Monday prior to Easter Sunday. So this is a big week. This is a big day. Every day this week is big. It's the second day of Holy Week after Palm Sunday. And some celebrate Holy Monday and some do not. I celebrate all week long because it's a big week. It's a significant week. Holy Monday is the day on which Jesus cleansed the temple. He was praised by the local children. And this the day that he cursed the fig tree. Y'all remember we done preached about that fig tree over in Matthew 21, 12 and 22. Matthew 21, 12 through 22. So it's the day that follows Palm Sunday when Jesus came to Jerusalem. And that's why I've been telling y'all, please, please, please read the whole Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John so you could get full understanding. I got the people of God doing that this week. If you wasn't on last night, this week, read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Read them. Read somewhere in them so you could get the understanding of this. Yes, God. So, where I'm at, I want to show you something. Hold up. I got it in my tablet. Where was I at? There it go. So Jesus returned to Jerusalem from Bethlehem. I told you he cursed a barren fig tree. And it represented faithless Israel. Then he had to go in and cleanse the temple out. They was up in there gambling. They was selling stuff. And this supposed to be a holy place. So see, he drove out the money changers, the merchants. And then he declared it's a house of prayer rather than a den of thieves. Jesus went in there kicking butt, whipping them up out of there. Get up out of there. So one key to Holy Monday, let's go through this. One key to Holy Monday is when he cursed the fig tree. Matthew 21, 18 through 22. And Mark 11, 12 through 14. Get it down because I want you reading all week. So he was passing from Bethlehem, from Bethany, and Jesus cursed a leaf but fruitless fig tree, symbolizing judgment on the nation's spiritual emptiness. Oh, I hope none of us have spiritual emptiness. I hope we're not walking around with this spiritual emptiness. So Jesus, when he coming by, he can stop right where you at because you full of the Spirit. You full of the Holy Ghost. And he don't got to pass you. He can stop and bless you. Who am I talking to? He can stop and fix it for you. Stop and heal you. So once that happened, that occurrence on Monday happened, he goes down to clean the temple in Matthew 21. 12 and 13. I'm giving you some scriptures. Write them down. Mark 11, 15 through 19. And Luke 19, 45 through 48. Let me know if you need me to repeat them. Let me know. I'm giving you scriptures today because this is a week of reading. This is a week of getting it. This is the Holy Week. You should know everything what happened on this week. Repeat it. Matthew 21, 12 and 13. Mark 11, 15 through 19. Luke 19, 45 through 48. Come on. And this is where Jesus entered the temple. The courts, overturning the tables of money, the money changers, the merchants, whatever they was trying to sell in there. They was gambling in there. They was doing all types of stuff they shouldn't have been doing in the temple. So Jesus come up in there. This is a holy place. Have you ever seen somebody in church? I done seen this about 4 or 5 times. Curse in church. Oh, I done seen it. I remember my grandfather had a church my whole life, ever since I've been born. I seen people curse in church, argue in church, doing exchanges in church. No, go take that to the parking lot. You want to buy this from them, buy that. Don't do it in the church. Do it in the parking lot. Do it in the hallway. Jesus went up in there mad. This is supposed to be where we worship. So he had to demonstrate his authority and his zeal for true worship. See, when you're a true worshiper, you don't want to see anything happening in the temple. You don't want to see no foolishness going on in the temple. So Jesus went in there and got angry. That's why I tell you, it ain't about you getting angry. You could get angry, but it's about how you react when you get angry. Jesus got angry. We ain't see him whipping nobody outside of the temple. You seen him whipping somebody in the temple because he like, y'all not about to do this here. This is not about to be a den of thieves. He wasn't around fighting people. Jesus could have beat up anybody with that power he had. But no, only time you seen him do it when they was acting up in that temple. He wasn't playing about the place of worship. He said, I'm not playing here. Let's go. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. Shayla got him up for you. There they go. So then once he whipped him up out of there, this all on the Monday, y'all. He whooped him up out of there. He started teaching. He started teaching up in Matthew 21, 23 through 27. That's Matthew 21, 23 through 27. He started teaching and confrontation, following the cleansing Jesus taught in the temple. So he whipped all of them up out of there and said, no, let me get this back in order. Let me bring the spirit back in here. What it's really for. So he started teaching in the temple. And his authority was challenged. Oh, somebody always want to challenge you when you're doing right. Who am I talking to? Oh, somebody always want to challenge you when you're doing what God told you to do. They didn't challenge you when you was doing wrong. But as soon as you start doing right, they want to challenge you. Oh, as soon as you start walking in God and walking in what God tell you to do, now people want to challenge you. He was challenged by the chief priests and the religious leaders. Why? Nobody wants you to do what's right. They don't mind if you're doing what's wrong. But as soon as you start doing God, now they want to come and confront you. Who you think you is? You're not ready to do this. You don't have no authority to do that. Why are you trying to do this? Because God told me. I'm trying to do what's right by God. whipped them up out of there, start teaching in there, getting the spirit back. Then here come old devil wanting to challenge. Oh, soon as you get back on your feet, soon as you done made up in your mind, I'm ready to do what God told me to do, somebody want to try to come and tear you down. Somebody want to come and try to challenge you. Somebody want to try to mess up that zeal that you got, that fire that's burning for God. You done finally got up, you done finally walked in it, and then here come the naysayers. Here come the trouble. Them people that want to cause trouble. Here come the doubters. Here come the ones that want to change your mind up. So after he returned to Bethany, after causing a stir and facing growing oppositions from religious leaders. Wow. Sometimes church folks will attack you. Who am I talking to? Sometimes church folks will tear you down. Sometimes church folks will do you wrong. Oh, I guess y'all don't know what I'm talking about. Everybody that do you wrong that's supposed to be saved ain't gonna always apologize. Who am I talking? That's why I make it a habit to always apologize. Guess why? Because if you save, the Spirit of God should already convict you and make you apologize. How many people don't got hurt by church folks and they never apologized? Oh, you might hurt somebody. You might say something or do something, even if you don't mean to do it. But see, the real thing is, will you apologize? Will you tell them I'm sorry without an excuse? See, I don't apologize with an excuse, but you did this, but you said, no, I'm going to just say this was my part. I apologize. But sometimes religious people will tear you down and hurt you. Never apologize to you. Never come to you and say, I'm sorry, but still want to lay hands on people. Want to put oil on people. Want to run a prayer group. Oh, I know I'm not the only one that done seen this. So after that, Jesus left the city to spend the evening. He spent the evening in Bethany. So the day highlights Jesus' righteous anger against corruption in worship. Jesus got angry, yeah. Yeah, he got angry. On that Monday, that's why I told you every day is significant. Every day got meaning. Jesus got angry on that Monday against that corruption in worship and service as a transition towards his final sacrifice on Good Friday. We gonna get there on Friday. Come on, somebody. So Jesus already knew he would fulfill every promise. Come on now. That's why you should know that God gonna fulfill every promise to you. See, he knew what he came to do. He knew he had to fulfill every promise. The Old Testament prophecies, all of the Old Testament prophecies, he had to fulfill it. He knew that's what he came to do. That's why you should know God is going to fulfill every promise to you. If he came and did it in sacrifice, why won't he do it for you? He will. Every promise. Them Old Testament prophecies, he fulfilled them. And now it was coming down to the final week. My God. Holy week. The last week before the fulfillment. I'm prophesying to somebody right now. Oh, this the last week. You're going to have to go through it. This the last week. You're going to have to see that again. This is the last week. You're going to be waiting for that manifestation. He about to fulfill some promises. Oh, Lord. All Big Pressure done caught it. Blondell catching it. She got it. Oh, they getting it. They getting it. This might be the last week you go through. The last week your body be in pain. Because this the week of the blood. My God, don't jump ahead, prophet. Don't jump ahead. It's only Monday. Don't get to the blood yet. It's only Monday. Take your time with this, prophet. It's only Monday. Oh, it's only Holy Monday, prophet. So he had to fulfill some promises this week. And it was coming down to the last final week, Holy Monday, the second day of what we now call Holy Week. The last Monday leading up to Easter, our Resurrection Sunday. Every day means something. Every day got some power in it. Every day is leading us up to our freedom. My God. Can you imagine something? Can you imagine how the disciples felt on the Monday after Palm Sunday? I'm talking about on this Holy Monday, just the day before Jesus had made a big grand entrance on Sunday. But on Monday, we getting closer to when it's all about to go down. The suffering and the pain. Just a day before they was laying out palm sticks, palm twigs, cloaks. But now Monday come. Just made a grand entrance into Jerusalem. He had to ride in on the coat of a donkey that no one had ever ridden before but Jesus. All of this is in fulfillment of the prophecy found in the book of Zechariah. Oh, read the book of Zechariah. The disciples followed this man, Jesus, for 3 years. Well, they followed the right one. They had witnessed all the miraculous miracles. They seen the blind eyes open, the lame walk. They seen the mute talk. They seen the cripple get up and pick up his mat. But more important, they had been with him virtually every hour of every day, riding with the man. Going from, they knew this man. And Peter, he had declared him to be the Messiah, the Son of the living God. In Matthew 16:16. Read it, read it, read it. I'm giving you so many scriptures. Read it. Read Zechariah 9:9. Read that. I came in on the donkey. That's why you got to read this word. The disciples followed this man Jesus for 3 years. Witnessed everything. They knew he was a bad man. They knew he was that guy. Their hearts must have been overflowing with expectation. They were the first to throw their cloaks on the donkey. See, the disciples was the first ones. Before he rode into Jerusalem, they threw theirs first. They knew who he was. They knew the power he held. You got to know who he is today. You got to know the power that he had. That's why when God tell you to do something, you should do it with no problem, because you know the power he got. If he say, trust me, believe, you should trust and believe. If he say, worship and praise me, you should worship and praise him. If he tell you to give off the top and tithe, you should be giving off the top and tithe. If he say, I got promises for you, you should be expecting the promises. They knew who Jesus was. They threw theirs first. They were the first to throw their clerks on the donkey and the ground in front of Jesus. Are you willing to throw yourself, to throw what you got, to throw your heart, your expectation, your trust, your belief in front of Jesus? They wasn't alone in this celebration, because when they got to Jerusalem, everybody started throwing the palms out, the cloaks out, celebrating the king. And many people celebrate the king coming into Jerusalem and throwing their clothes on the ground, but many others grab branches off trees, assuming to be branches of palms. But they just want to get in on it, to place on the royal pathway. They said, okay, if I don't got the palms, I'm going to throw branches down. Anything just to make room for who's coming on this royal pathway. Are you ready? Are you willing? Do you thank God for this triumph entry that took place on a Sunday? Are you ready for God, knowing what he did for you, how he came in low but left out high? We can only imagine how exhausted he felt. I could just imagine what he had to go through on this week. After all they expected in conquering the king to free them, can you imagine the weight on his shoulder? Expecting the king to free them of this domination of the Roman Empire. Can you imagine the pressure that was on Jesus to free us, to free them from their slavery in Rome? Can you just imagine? And we can't throw our hands up and give them thanks. We can't follow the order of God. We can't say yes to God. Their expectation was for a conquering king. But little did they expect what began the very next day, Monday. Holy Monday. But Jesus knew. Jesus knew he would be fulfilling promise for you, for me, for the people that was there. Every Old Testament prophecy got fulfilled on this week. And it was coming down to this final week, Holy Monday. Thank you, God. I'm telling you, on this week, you got to really lock in. Told them last night, you got to really read. You should be really praying, but the most of all, you should be high in giving him praise and glory for what he did on this week. Let God know you appreciate the week. Every day, God, I thank you for this Holy Monday. I thanked him yesterday for Palm Sunday, coming into Jerusalem. I thank him for Holy Monday, even when he was getting them up out of that temple. Yeah, he got angry, because you don't do that in a place of worship, and I thank him for that, for setting order in the place of worship, so it can be order nowadays in the house of God. Even though some people come in there out of order and do stuff they shouldn't, I wish Jesus could come back down and whip them up out of here. Because nowadays they are saying do anything in the house of God. But Jesus got them up out of there whipping them. And then said, let's have church. This week. Gonna come there hungry. And the fig tree was bearing no fruit. So he cursed it. Bear some fruit this week, y'all. Do what's right this week. Worship God this week. Read Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. Even read over in Zechariah. That tell about it too. Learn what happened this week. I'm going to give you little snippets all week. What happened Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way up to Sunday. What went down. I'm going to let you know. But I want you to see it for yourself. And I pray this be a huge week on this holy week. I love y'all. I'm praying for y'all. But I need you to give my God, our God, honor, glory, and praise. And by the time we come on here Sunday night and we have communion, oh, this is going to be the best communion because it's Holy Week. It's Holy Week. Oh, this is the best time to commune for the ultimate sacrifice. I can't wait to commune Sunday. Do I got my communion here? I got to get me some more. I'll get me some more for Sunday. I'm ready. Listen, I believe this week God gonna do it. I just believe we following God like the disciples was following Jesus. That this week gonna burst something for us. That this week is gonna happen. This week, he gonna fulfill some promises. Oh, I'm getting off early today. All week I'm gonna get off early. I gotta preach Thursday and Friday. So I ain't trying to be all on long. I'm about to go get beat up at the gym too by Mike. Yeah, he about to beat me up. Had me sore last week. But listen, he's gonna fulfill some promises this week.